Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shanghai Major Qualifiers. We are wrapping up the China region before we hop over to Europe, as SEA is also just on the verge. I think, in fact, just did complete. We won't spoil that right now, but we've got a Game 2 underway. ig.Vitality is up against it versus Newbie, who have been making a nice run here through the lower bracket. Of course, I'm LD. I'm joined by Blaze, as well as Llama down under. And as we begin to talk about the matchup, the draft is underway, so let's just hop into it. So guys, iG.V, they go for the exact same bans and the exact same first two picks.
Yeah, same for Newbie actually. The Faceless Void, albeit they managed to pick the Earth Spirit last time, but Faceless Void banned again. So, but this time, SF for IG doesn't want that.
Nope.
Trouble.
They want to give House some confidence here. The Juggernaut being banned out, it does thin his pool a little bit here, so the Gyrocopter, it's his secondary comfort pick. Like, if he's not picking Juggernaut, if he doesn't want to play Juggernaut, he wants to play Gyrocopter. So getting that phase 1 is going to give them some incentive to start getting active. And the Spear Breaker wasn't the most defining aspect of Newbie's play earlier, but it certainly didn't hurt. I mean, they were able to get some good control across the map and vision, most importantly. Like, the charges were pretty long range, so they had good intel approaching a gank as much as anything else. And now we're going to see that kind of wombo combo. Double Ion Shell, the Spear Breaker, and the Darkseer just converging on a target. And this actually forces iG.V to pick up a defensive support that will stay in this safe lane. And that's going to be the Disruptor. So what the end result of this is that it's going to be very difficult for the Night Stalker to actually get an opportunity to roam on whoever is mid for Moo, because they're going to be so focused on making sure the Spear Breaker isn't snowballing.
Definitely agree with you there. I like the Disruptor pick. Great at zoning a Darkseer. Great at canceling charge. Also good setup. And although he has a big team fight ult, he can get things done without having to rely on it. We saw last game that they relied too much on the AI Splash and the Phoenix Egg without the combo. So this pick I do like. I think they'll need more damage if they actually want to kill the Darkseer in lane. Gyro would be the ideal hero, but obviously that is not available.
But even with just the Darkseer, the team fight for Newbie is already really fantastic.
Oh,
you
it's
get a nice
dirty.
vacuum. You charge on through people because they've been vacuumed up. You get to hit everybody with that. It's a bit scary.
If we're just talking about the lane matchup, I actually would have preferred a Dazzle over a Disruptor, the Shadow Wave Heal Bomb, either killing off Iron Shield creeps or really good under the creep wave when Spear Breaker charges in. But I feel like iG.V are feeling what they were lacking in Game 1, which was AoE control. So getting the Disruptor, getting the potential for the Kinetic Field, the Static Storm, I feel like this is kind of shoring up the weaknesses of the draft in Game 1.
Is it Naga time?
Please no. Please no.
It's Naga time.
How
It's
about
always Naga time.
Naga
Jeez. What are you talking about?
Moonshard? How does that make you feel, Blaze?
Moonshard Rush Naga.
That's the
Only
dream.
item. Actually, 6 Moonshards.
That is okay.
Alright, we don't want him to kill himself. Okay, Nat, have a little mercy.
Sorry. Anyway, Viper is the pickup. Newbie really wanting to win this mid matchup. We saw it last time. They understand how scary this Razor can get.
Yeah, this is actually a really annoying lane for Razor. It's very difficult to keep the link on him. Tough to trade attacks with Viper, and even if he steals damage, you can still do a lot with the Nether Toxin when he gets low. And
So I think the Darkseer still goes for the mechanism here between the two of them that allows Viper to actually go for more, I guess you can call it semi-carry items. I never want to look at that hero as like a hard carry or anything towards the late game. But if you want to go for like S and Y, or even a Hand of Midas to keep your momentum rolling throughout the later stages of the game, like I feel like that's going to be a nice replacement for the mechanism which the Darkseer is more likely to get.
iG.V still curious to see what the overall game plan is. I mean, this generic opening they've gone for, it generally has been very up-tempo early to mid-game, but I'm curious if they want to mix it up here. There are quite a few hard carries left in the pool.
I think they get their offlane here, though. I think that this is the general time where you get XXS comfortable on his offlane and make sure that you're going to be able to do something against the Gyrocopter.
I mean, what are they going to run that's going to do anything against Gyro?
I think they've got...
Unless they want to put the Razor in that lane. But Razor's always gone mid for them.
I think it's also hard here to pick an offlaner who doesn't have a rough time jumping into Gyro and Darkseer. So
Yeah, maybe just pick Tidehunter or something simple. Like, obviously the Rocket Barrage is still going to hurt, but like you know you're going to be able to progress, and you're going to be able to get some critical cooldowns for the team fights.
So, I mean, what about just running the straight, like, jungle offlane Night Stalker? With the
I mean,
early Iron Talon.
Red actually is a
Yep.
probable pick now. Actually, I was gonna reply with the fact that like it's only 1 out of 5 times that they actually run the offlane Night Stalker. They usually prefer to support, but here we see that variation, and 1 out of 5 comes true for Game 6 here for this Night Stalker in the Shanghai Major Qualifiers. So, Witch Doctor Disruptor, pretty active duo, great for the aggression that Darkseer and Spearbreaker are going to put out, and another defensive support.
Yeah, I'm wondering what they want to combo the Witch Doctor with. Heroes that come to mind are Medusa. Stonegaze is great with the Death Ward. Void, but Void it does not really feel like the one position carry
He's also banned out.
nowadays. Oh, you're right. Never mind.
Medusa has
What
some
else? What else
advantages
goes well
here,
with that?
but-
Oh, sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
just it's nice as well against the Darkseer, but we've just been seeing Medusa kind of having I mean, at least earlier today in the series before this, saw her having a rough time, and even yesterday in the Americas.
I'm just trying to think of the synergy. Yeah, I mean Medusa has not had a great. She's had a pretty bad track record today.
I think the Phantom Lancer is an okay pick here. Yeah, you have the Darkseer illusions who to create their own army if the RNG is right. You've got AoE damage output, so your illusions don't always last that long. But just the fact that you can always stay on target with the Phantom Rush, like no matter if the Viper even ulties you, you're still able to move at 900 movement speed. So it's, I would say, just the fact that you can stay on target and consistently do damage, as well as have some good defensive utility for the landing phase against the Spearbreaker Darkseer. I think that there's some good value in that.
The Venge for Newbie, very well-rounded draft. Good mix of AoE, a single target, early game, mid game, late game. They got it all. Very well-rounded draft.
Yeah, it's also really nice, I think, if someone's in a static storm or, you know, being glimpsed backwards, you can swap, sacrifice yourself, albeit that has to get online, and it should be a super nice laning phase right here for Newbie with the gyro, like...
Also gives them another way to cancel the Death Ward in the middle of a team fight.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh!
Okay. So not the same illusion hero, but still one that is going to be involved in the mid game, as well as constantly putting out pressure in the anytime that the lane is empty. But I don't think that lane's going to be empty very often. Tule as well, or Zhao Tule as well as Lei are going to be comboing up pretty hardcore, and the Iron Shield magic damage is actually something that Terrorblade should be afraid of. His effective HP against physical is above average, but against magical, it's one of the worst in terms of safe lane carries.
So it'll be Razor mid, offlane Night Stalker with the Iron Talon rush most likely, and I do expect them to run a proper tri-lane, at least initially, to help secure the early levels for Terrorblade.
All ready with the TP out for Tule. This is really common. I feel like Newbie's done this every game. Do we actually know which side they're preferring? Because Newbie's been Radiant both times, and I have to imagine they picked it once because of how lobby works.
Well, you can get the pick. It's usually it's the one person dictates first or second pick, and the other person just kind of gets what they can. But yeah, if they got the Radiant here, and we did see iG.V get first pick, it may be some deviation from the norm.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the rules are for the major qualifiers. Generally, you get selection priority and you take turns, so you can either go for pick or side, and you get your choice. Then opponent gets their choice of the other category, but not entirely sure for the series.
Just interesting because so far of the major qualifiers, I think above 60% win rate on Dire. Although they're they're changing it with these games. So
On Dire first pick, like Dire's second pick is still like 57.
Mhm.
It's
That's
favored.
still really good, though.
Yeah.
But just the little things, and it could be that Newbie feel more comfortable playing from this side, or they wanted selection priority in some way. Pick priority in some way. So
Yeah. I mean, there are definitely teams that volunteer for second pick, and some patches it's actually significantly stronger than first pick. But I wouldn't say this is. It's hard to read.
So we'll be going into it. Pretty normal rune split. Look at these IG flags. They're like cut in half. I'm not... These banners.
Hopefully not a sign of things to come for the Vitality fans
Oh,
out
no.
there. The flag flies at half-mast, the wrong direction. So no Iron Talon. All right.
Not yet. Sometimes you wait and you get a little bit later.
Yeah.
Yeah, might see how much you can
They
see.
lost.
Iron Talon is game winning. Lack of Iron Talon is game losing. Go next. Newbie of 2-0'd.
They even stuck true on mid for a little bit there when it's a lane that the Viper should do really well in. I mean, they just really don't want Wei Chen getting up to a good start.
I've seen this lane matchup play out a lot of times, and it can go either way. The Viper definitely probably has the easier way of success, but I think the Razor still has potential if he gets boots early and he's able to convincingly just move in the right manner. We do actually have a sentry ward here from Wrong, so that Xiao Dulei actually has to lane. He can't just be the jungle seer.
Yeah, I think a lot of it isn't just about, oh, who should win the mid lane. It's just how Newbie have analyzed ig.vitality. We saw this yesterday from LGD, and I honestly think Newbie are very much just copying the playbook of shut down the Wei Chen Razor, put a lot of pressure on him early, and then see how they react. They did the exact same thing, even more than they probably needed to, and ig.vitality just crumbled under that. So we saw it in the last game to a lesser extent. We saw it a lot yesterday, and I think they're basically saying you're going to have to win with somebody else. He's not going to carry you.
We're actually going to be seeing the Spear Breaker moving around down bottom towards the jungle. He'll cover the bottom rune spawn for the 2 minute, but he's actually pretty inactive. Like, he's still level 1 and level 2 Spear Breaker is what you're actually afraid of. And I think he's not actually in the off lane mostly because of this Witch Doctor pick. The Witch Doctor is actually really good in this situation. At level 2 with the Cask and Voodoo Restoration, he'll usually keep your hero alive long enough to actually get the turnaround kill and potentially limit any deaths on the side of iG.V. So I think they're afraid of that, and the Spear Breaker's going to change his focus to that safe lane and potentially the mid.
Where's that charge headed? Onto the mid lane.
And cancelled.
Gonna pop the regen.
Free charge.
And Doxys realized that his area is blocked up, his hard camp, so headed over to the jungle, not wanting to risk it. SXSS also having a bit of trouble there, but I think could easily be level 3 for the first nighttime and hopefully more successful than last game.
Definitely. He's got massive HP regen. He's got 2 tangos, a healing self, and he's got extremely above average regen. But we are going to see this chain stun come out, and regen only helps. Oh, the fairy fire! Oh, not going to be enough. There's going to be a good cast coming out, but the Spear Breaker is just a little bit too tanky for it. So yeah, essentially, you could talk about sustain, but when it comes to burst damage output, the 3v1 prevails.
And Hal's positioning there on the gyrocopter was really good. He managed to make sure that the rocket barrage was hitting on the Night Stalker and not the creep wave. So just the small things, but looking like both the Terrorblade and the gyro equivalent form. Who comes out on top on that matchup?
Oh, it takes some time to kind of figure it out. It really comes down to how QD plays it in terms of how active he wants to push, how fast he jungles. Because if you stack like 20 times for the gyrocopter, yes, he's going to win out in farm speed. But more often than not, you're supposed to going to be busy doing other things, and the Terrorblade is just going to chew through jungle minute after minute, and he's going to be able to just rapidly increase his GPM.
He's also a lot better at taking towers.
Exactly. Even with the illusion nerf, he's still extremely potent in that regard, and if he ever commits Metamorphosis, he's just absolutely insane. Like, I don't actually think any other hero compares in terms of just raw damage output.
So Chuan's not going to make a move on mid. Looks like 4 heroes from the Radiant side about to congregate. Just the gyro bottom and everybody else off the map. Darkseer going to the woods for the moment. Let's see, as the nighttime descends, where Newbie end up looking to strike.
Yeah, I mean, for iG.V, if there are 3 people hanging out middle and nothing's happening, they're in a good mood, but also this Night Stalker, I guess, still not feeling like it's time to rotate off the lane.
Taking it slow. Night Stalker does get a little more confident in his movements, poking out, sees the Venge. He's going to back away. So Terrorblade leading the net worth chart, or the CS chart, I should say. 31 and 19 early on. The gyro not too far behind, 30 and 6.
It's a very even in CS.
Yeah.
And mid is even.
Oh, the coconuts! Very well done. There's going to be the plasma field. The corrosive skin not enough, and now Moo on his way out. But they did rotate a number of them. Still pretty dang good to not lose the Razor there.
Absolutely good response from iG.V. This is the kind of plays you need to make to really secure your investment in this Razor. They like we've talked about, they know how to play around Wei Chen's Razor, and not just in the mid game, but in this laning stage, they know this kind of support he needs. They're ready with the TPs, and that is also what you expect from a Spear Breaker. I mean, you have a Spear Breaker or a Tusk against you. You know that by 6 minutes he's going to be charging mid, or snowballing mid at least once. So they kind of have this general template for the game at hand, and they have the response ready.
I am wondering what QD is saving for. 1600 gold, not using the side shop yet.
Radiance Terrorblade!
Naked Radiance.
That used to be a thing, I feel.
No, it never was a thing. People argued it was a
That it was
thing,
there.
and gods just hated it. Like, he actually went on like
Oh, well,
three,
then if he hated it, then it definitely was a thing.
yeah, it was like he went on like 3 massive Twitter rants about Radiance Terrorblade. Like, it wasn't pretty.
So while that was a really nice coconuts, unfortunately the charge was near perfect going on to the Terrorblade, but charging on through, they got themselves a quick kill. Again, another one of these slow ones, but I think it's just the style as we talked about, and it's certainly, if you can let your Terrorblade get uncontested farm somewhere, why move him?
Alright, he's got items coming out. I was starting to wonder what exactly he was saving for.
It might just be treads. Like, I know it was a lot of gold, but you need your boots.
Well, he could have just gone to the side shop, though.
There's a Darkseer there. It's scary.
Well, now there is. He had the lane pushed out before.
One guy's from the inner hell of hells, and one guy's from another planet, and his head is pointy. Who's scarier?
He's a conehead.
Wait, he's an alien?
You can always scout about in the crowd.
Some kind of alien. ig.V.
I mean, does he look normal to you? I don't know
Have
what
you
kind of
seen
people
the rest
you
of
meet
the
down in...
Australians?
Yeah, I have not been to Australia.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, okay, it's
but
official.
you're from Jersey. It's basically weird.
Nobody has a cone head there.
Haven't invaded
People
yet.
put cones on their heads.
Oh, excellent. For special occasions or just...
Just when they get drunk after
Yeah.
the Eagles lose. Don't worry about it.
So, cancelled charge. I feel like there are a lot of people from Hell in this game.
There's no lion.
In Dota.
There's-
No, I just mean in Dota in general. Like, what's
It's
going
just
on with
2,
that?
right?
I'm just saying that a lot of people seem to escape from Hell. It maybe
I mean,
doesn't have great security.
Okay, so you got Razor and Visage, who are the keepers of the underworld. Then you've got
Doing a shit
Lion
job.
and Terrorblade, who actually have been to hell and back. Like, it's just, you know, the forces of life and death battling it out here in the arena of champions.
Alright, guys, it's not that serious. It's only $3 million. Did you hear how much Powerball was for?
It's true.
Let's be serious.
What is it up to now? Because it didn't... Nobody won last night, right?
I don't know. It was like, what, 800, 900 million or something? We're playing for peanuts. Dota is just for fun.
It's just a game. It's just a computer game. People,
Just relax, have a drink, enjoy.
why you have to be mad?
Oh, nice. There's nothing you... Oh, no, never mind. In comes the
Yeah,
Witch
he's
Doctor
so dead.
Maledict. Oh, good. By Kenny
Neutral
getting the deny?
deny?
No, those creeps are stunned for years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, it's
they
okay. No,
waste
it's
their first
farming.
cooldown as well, it looks
No,
like.
no, it's a farming
Maybe.
cooldown. Come on. Oh!
Got him.
Okay, well played there. And that's just Rocket Barrage ripping through people.
That is what that spell does, as a matter of fact. Like, you can nerf that spell like 3 more times and it's still going to be absolutely insane just from how well it started off. Like, I actually, like, I look back at the old patches of Gyrocopter and I can't even believe how strong that spell used to be. Rocket Barrage, it's been nerfed multiple times and it's still one of the best level 1 spells in terms of just damage output.
I would love to take, like, a hero at its most broken and, like, the old Darkseer and just throw them into the game right now and see...
With the Aghanimed allies cheese, where you can just push with your own illusions.
And just, like, the vacuum being, like, 15 seconds lower cooldown.
Yeah, this
His
is-
intelligence increased by like 6.
Well, there used to be a Terrorblade there.
Yeah.
Went for the early drums, but that is not going to save you against this level of magic damage.
Actually has quite a few stat items. Obviously, illusion here. Oh,
Vacuum is
Nope.
unavailable.
yeah.
Get more experience, scrub.
I do like that he picked up the wall at level 6. We've been, even in professional games, we've been seeing a couple people who aren't getting the wall early, and I feel like it's, with the changes, it's always appropriate. But as you talked about, gonna be Darkseer mech, not Viper, and I think it also makes a lot of sense since there's quite a bit of physical.
What? Viper's got a headdress. We might
Oh,
be.
no.
We might be running the double headdress, the double mech. Then we'll get 2 Earnest Shadows and 2 Radiances.
I don't-
Probably not what's going to happen.
Do you think it's just gonna become a Vlad's for one of them? Or I actually think Guardian Greaves are great here. Speaking of people being dead, I'm not 100%. Where's the Maledict? Come on, Witch Doctor. Practice some medicine. Oh, okay, there's gonna be the glimpse back, and he is going down. Cooldown though.
Oh,
should
that
hit on
cooldown.
4.
Could be good.
Yeah,
This
it's
could get
looking
ugly.
good.
They need
Oh.
to TP out quickly. Wai Chen looks like he's going to fall, but already the Spirit Breaker also down. They've even managed to bring down the Razor, so a 2-for-1.
And again, another engagement that's just iG.V's pickups maybe not exactly where they want them to be.
Newbies just, they seem ultra confident right now. Just constantly looking for smoke ganks. Every single gank is working. Oftentimes just diving the tower. They have no fear.
Ooh, okay, just a little charge. Yeah, and okay, we're gonna have another nighttime coming up. Do you think Night Stalker can do something?
It's kind of hard when Newbie have all their tier 1s. They're grouping up quite a bit, and that is the ideal way to play at night. Plus they have mech now, so they're
Okay.
really hard to kill.
Yeah, what's Darkseer gonna do?
It looks like they want to make a move, though. The tower's already fallen. This would be very risky.
No, they don't have ultimates. Like the Witch
Oh.
Doctor, the Disruptor, they have absolutely nothing right now in terms of levels. So they really can't commit to a fight. They just have to take a breather here, take 1 or 2 minutes to build themselves up in terms of experience, and then they can look for a fight. But of course, the smoke is going to take the fight to them.
Kinetic Field just slightly off the mark there.
Oh no, Chuan gets the stun. Can they get beautiful coconuts on the backline? They still don't have an ult on this Witch Doctor. Another charge gonna bounce over to him. Razor's trying to use that walk the dog spell. Actually gets bashed into a really awful position. Cooldown gonna be what ends the Witch Doctor now. Wai Chen falling as well. This is not looking great for ig.Vitality.
They're hemorrhaging kills. A kill here or there is definitely fine with the Terrorblade, but they're giving up too many, and more importantly, it's leading to objectives falling. Towers are dropping. Terrorblade space is limited, and he's already up against Spirit Breaker, one of the better heroes in the game, to just shut down Split Push and Ratty Dota, so they got to get it together.
Night Stalker TPs. Luckily doesn't get glimpsed back home. Otherwise, he'd be set back even further. Right now, we're actually seeing the Witch Doctor and the Disruptor not only lacking ultimates, but also lacking a hell of a lot of gold. Like, look at their net worth. It's not even close to the Venge Spirit Breaker. It's just Newbie is succeeding in so many more ways, with towers, with kills, and iG.V just can't keep up.
Oh, there's gonna be the glimpse back into a
This
kinetic
would be
field.
big.
They do get quite a bit of damage out. It's looking like how to fall. Need a tiny. They should have Void back up in a second.
he's
Oh, the swap!
gone.
I think Maledict
Yeah,
kills
he
it.
had to TP earlier. He's maledicted.
Oh yeah. And they should kill off the Night Stalker, but as you said, big kill. What they really needed.
Still, he does get the Night Stalker kill. May have died anyway when he's trying to TP.
Mm-hmm.
What are these levels on the supports? We are almost 14 minutes in, and they still don't have them on IG.
Yeah. Really, really weak from the Disruptor and the Witch Doctor. Just having to play so reactively and respond. The TP mid for the Razor was great, but you can clearly see that they haven't really made time for themselves.
Got to take a little me time.
Mm-hmm. Just a spa appointment, you know? Just go on,
Every
read a
now-
book.
Every now and then.
Oh, okay. That's
Oh, the Vanguard Darkseer.
A classic.
Crimson is quite good against illusion heroes.
I still wonder if something like the Blink would have had more impact.
Well, you have to get some HP. Like Darkseer, I mean, he's great at level 1 in terms of his effective HP, but he's also a very man-up hero. And if you're just walking in without a single health item, then you're probably going to get crushed. The mechanism is core for a lot of reasons, but that's probably chief among them.
And I think Midas on the Spirit Breaker. Something I did notice is now Gyro's gone for the Helm of the Dominator. They're gonna scale really well, and you can see that Terrorblade. Oh,
One ulti at least from the Disruptor.
Big rotation on mid. I think they might have caught Newbie off guard here as they try to prevent the Spirit Breaker's retreat. Focusing the Viper. Looks like they should be able to finish him off. Glimpse back into the entirety of the enemy squad. Now the Spirit Breaker charges in. Chuan wants to re-engage. The cooldown is almost perfect, but ends up only barely clipping 2 towards the tail end. Wall gets deployed. They try to focus down Wai Chen. Can they get the job done? They do, but the Venge likely to sacrifice their own life in doing so. Scrambling on the retreat. The Gyro charges forward, and they will finish off the Night Stalker. Looking for a bit more. A 2 for 3 thus far. I'm not sure they get anything else.
Yeah, the Venge actually finished off the Razor without going down, so just Chuan's individual play, very impressive in that one, but of course it is going to be a relatively even exchange there. You see it's 3 for 2 with 700 gold positive for iG.V and 960 for Newbie. So yes, Newbie do win out, but with iG.V so far behind, it's not that bad of a fight for them.
And now they grab a medallion on the Ven, so potentially that Roshan in the card soon. See a charge all the way on bottom. Midas, if that is the build, still a ways off.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that, but something he could do.
You just get treads now, I think. It's
Yeah.
just too late.
You never know. Midas Gaming, best gaming.
You don't want the game.
5
You
Midases.
have a Viper. You don't want the
Yeah.
game to go 45, 60 minutes.
You're not wrong. It does become hard to itemize. That was a ward that was immediately dewatered, so really nice play there coming out of wrong. And Terrablade's okay. He's just got a little low while jungling.
They're quietly staying in this one, iG.V.
Well, I mean, it is elimination once again. I mean, this is a lower bracket, so we're going to say that a lot, but in this case, iG.V are down to this last game potentially. If they lose it, that is a wrap for their Shanghai major run here in the qualifiers. So they definitely have to keep their discipline and their intensity as alive as possible.
Yep. So, do you think he's gonna build the full Crimson on the docks here, or stop by for Blink or something first?
Blink's probably better. I mean, Crimson's not bad by any stretch. It used to be a lot better when the Razor Eye of the Storm was blocked by it, but no matter the case, Vanguard might just be a segue into actual initiation.
I think it was what the headdress first and then back for the Vanguard was the build.
That is correct.
Yeah, so hard to say. Pipe isn't really that great this game.
I think Blink then Vlad's.
So
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Blink.
Vlad's is okay.
And they're not going to contest the Roche at all. I'm pretty sure they know. Obviously, they saw the illusions kind of guarding it, but not feeling like their team fight's good enough.
This is a really rough position for iG.V. I mean, obviously they're relying a lot on QD's Terrorblade to just kind of carry them to victory, but right now, unless the ultimates from iG.V are perfect, fighting is near impossible.
And if you're not going to fight, you got to do something to pressure them. Right now, he's sitting back, farming the jungle, not in the lanes or threatening objectives. So, Newbie, just keep on going.
I do agree with you. I think the Terrorblade could be pushing top, pushing mid. There's been a lot of action in the bottom area, and if Terrorblade's not going to come to the fight, get something done.
Yeah, he might be afraid of the charge. Like
Yeah,
the
it's hard to
charge
get
sets
Spirit
up
Breaker.
so many kill possibilities between different heroes.
If you don't take those risks, the Newbie are just going to continue choking you out.
Definitely.
As they swing on mid with the gyro, looks like the rest of the team is still clumped up bottom, and they are getting kills. Razor down. Another grab.
Swap kill there from Chuan, making the initiation play happen. They had the charge vision, and they follow through.
Yeah, and mid's going to fall shortly after. How do you just set up any sort of team fight for iG.V? I mean, you have some high ground defense, but again, catching them out, other than a glimpse, you can catch one.
Newbie are feeling really good right now. I mean, this is their game. They're in control. Obviously, if it goes crazy late, they're going to start getting worried. But right now, 19 minutes, this is where their lineup is near its strongest. And, of course, being up 1-0, being one game away from punching their ticket and facing off against, of course, LGD at the main event, I feel like they do have a lot of confidence here. Of course, How on the gyrocopter has been performing well, farming stupendously, 10,000 net worth, and now picking up the Crimson Guard on the Dark Seer. They're going to be in a great position to 5-ban with this
But
Aegis.
iG.V sweeping around from the south. It looks like they do want to try and take a fight here. They have to Static Storm the Death Ward. Newbie might clump up and get caught out. It's going to be the Night Stalker, the first man into the fight, trying to engage. Goes straight on to the Spirit Breaker. The Kinetic Field Static Storm gets dropped. It's a complete airball, really. Only slightly slowing down the Viper. And the Death Ward starts going, but there's the back, the wall, the massive turn. Gyrocopter laying into them and cleaning up, taking out the riffraff. The lone survivor is the Vampire.
And it
Barely
looked,
making away as the Night Stalker.
it looked so good until that vacuum wall,
Yeah.
as you said. I mean, it was It's rough.
And Gyro just hits hard with just pure flat cannon shots. I mean, he's hitting almost 200 a pop.
Yeah, he was actually able to do as much damage as the Darkseer there, despite the massive vacuum wall, and them two together, interrupting the Death Ward and just getting so many kills so quickly. It's almost impossible to stand up to it. The Aegis still has 2 minutes left on it, so they can take another fight exactly like that as the wall cools down.
Thank you, Venjor, for making everybody stronger. So. And
Yeah. It was a skill build, actually, this Vengeful Spirit. I haven't really kept tabs on it. We've seen some variations, like the 144 is the optimum for pushing, but he's actually got the Max Magic Missile, which I think is really good because of the cooldown reduction it provides. Either way, it's only 1 point in the aura, which is still kind of a 1 point wonder for these kind of agi cores.
yeah, Chuan's been doing a lot of work and getting a lot of gold and levels, which certainly helps out there. But ig.V, it just feels like one of those slow suffocation games where it's kind of already in a bad spot. Newbie have to make some mistakes here, I think, for ig.V. And like that was a good Death Warden combo, but there's not much you can do.
You just have to have more distance. Like this is like look at what ig.V are doing. Back-to-back smokes over and over, just hoping somebody walks into the lane. Like they don't actually see somebody that they're going to be ganking. They're just hoping that they luck into a situation, and they're trying to set themselves up for success with that smoke. But instead, it's a charge through, a TP back, and complete reset.
Yeah, they've definitely got the map control now on the Newbie side. Constantly haranguing ig.V, and they might just be looking for a high ground breach now. All those outer towers already gone. At the very least, they're going to take over the jungle. Push in. Swinging on now towards the mid lane. Just a single Terrorblade illusion. Looks like there is a DD rune that just spawned bottom, which could come in handy should they choose to push. But now the charge. Up towards top. Again, the Terrorblade just barely able to TP out in time. But he is running for his life.
Do you rush the BKB next here for the Terrorblade, or do you just try to get the Sanj and Yasha up? Hope you can have damage.
I mean, Sanj Yasha's not really going to do much for him at all, so maybe the BKB is the right call. It's not a great item either. There's so much that goes through it, but like you just need an item that changes the current state of the game. Right now he's underfarmed. I would say underleveled just because he's only been farming jungle basically, with heroes right behind him. And in general, it's just you need items that do something. So I wouldn't even say BKB is a great option, but with the Ogre Club, it's just not just this item. Get the Sanj and get something else. Like, just keep farming as fast as possible. They didn't use this Aegis cycle. Obviously, it just expired on the Gyrocopter. So ig.V have to just try to look at this next 10-minute window and try to maximize their efficiency as much as possible.
They have
a
pretty commanding advantage. So just don't want to throw it nice and steady. They have good solutions for Terrorblade if they're even or ahead. Crimson Guard is great in this position. Gyro being the most farmed hero, probably the ideal hero to have that advantage. And then you have Darkseer. Getting illusions of the Terrorblade always helpful, even if he is ahead of you. So.
Yeah, and look at where the 4 members of ig.V are other than the Terrorblade. They're all right next to their tier 3 tower, clumped up, huddled and hiding. They have no map control with a Night Stalker on their team, and we've seen this before. It feels like the Night Stalker isn't giving them enough control over the map, and in general, they're incapable of taking fights. The last fight top was the first time they had a legitimate chance to take a fight because of their ultimates, and that just fell flat on its face because of how underfarmed they are. It's just one thing leading to another. Map control, leading to a farm advantage, leading to more map control.
Agreed. I mean, looking rough, but certainly they've got some sort of high ground defense. You know, maybe they can get some plasma fields out to wipe down the creep waves, and a good static storm. I feel like that's something we haven't seen too much of. It's really hard to set up, but potentially, even with a Viper who's a bit ranged, maybe Newbie come up high ground a little bit too far, and you can drop something on them.
They're going to wait for the next stages, so when they do go high ground, even if you kill the entire team once, you're still going to have to deal with the Gyro for round 2. And realistically, they should all be sitting back behind him. It's going to be really tough to kill Hao.
They will have a bit of time on ig.vitality since that was a max respawn timer on Roche. It's going to be 11 minutes. So that's something.
Yeah. They bought the smoke of the disruptor, so they're going to go for one more round. I think this is probably their last smoke, and they've got to make it count. Just if they find the Gyrocopter,
this could be ideal.
Even just forcing the BKB is something.
Yeah.
And he is going to get caught.
Oh, their smoke hasn't broken yet. Let's see if they can find it. How has been spotted out. They don't go for the glimpse backwards. They end up going on Chuan. Well, they go on Moo, but the swap means it's Chuan. There's going to be a cooldown on all of them. The flag cannon's going to start coming out. Oh, the nice Sunder coming out as well. Moo still isn't dead. The vacuum back's going to pick off the Razor. The Death Ward's doing nothing, and How is just standing there, and BKB not caring at all. The charge onto the 0 health Night Stalker, and the bash. A full 5-man team.
Okay, so they see the gyro. They nuke him once and then just run the other direction and go on a different hero, ignoring him when he's full HP, runs right back in, cooldowns the entire team, flags the entire team, and just blows them up. That was not the way to approach that fight.
Recipe for disaster. That's actually the new item in the shop, actually.
Excuse me, I would like one disaster, please.
It costs 1 lumber, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think maybe they underestimated the gyro's damage output. I'm not really sure. That was. I think that's just iG.V saying, "Oh, we can't kill him," but at the very least, you have to punish him for being the one who scouted out and caught.
And it's so strange to go. We
at the
can't
very least, glimpse him and force the BKB. They just ignored him.
It's very strange saying we can't kill him and then going for a Viper, who I feel like is naturally more tanky.
It's just a really rough game right now. iG.V, they are probably down to their last play. They've exhausted smokes. They're huddled in their base. They just are looking for something. And I guess it's maybe Gyrocopter walking in with half HP. I don't know. It's Shadowblade, Spirit Breaker. Everybody's got farm. I mean, like, their minimum is 5,200, has one really good item. And even the Venge is higher up than that. Like, I feel like Newbie right now just have such a good grasp of the game. They are obviously with a massive kill advantage, needless to say, and iG.V, every attempt just falls apart.
So, LD, I know you always look forward to those Reddit threads. How are you going to feel if Newbie gets in and they get to play Alliance? Anything interesting there?
No, not really. There's no way Newbie should have been invited.
No, I just mean for both teams who have been affected by the TI curse.
Oh, well, I mean, let's be honest. Neither of these teams is winning the major, so...
You say that now.
No, just...
Newbie is on a hot streak. Chuan has given them a revitalization.
Hi, Bulldog. Hi, Gustav. I know you're watching. I hope I get proven wrong. You know, they're definitely both underdogs going in.
Did you see their WCA run? Jeez, S4 was sick. Like,
WCA was not even a Dota. That was not a Dota tournament. Are you serious?
Wait till they're in their prime. They were really good in Clash of Clans, though. You gotta admit.
What was the game? What was that game that was on the main stage? It was Crossfire.
Crossfire.
It was actually not Crossfire. Apparently, that incorrect information was corrected.
It'll be Crossfire in my heart. That was hilarious.
Apparently, it's like a newer game than Crossfire. All right, here we go. This could be the big fight that ends the game. Newbie charging in. BKB gets popped by YGM, but he's just getting gunned down off the bat. He is getting the damage steal out on How, but he's already pretty low to begin the fight. Chuan trying to turn this one. They get the wall out. Cutie fighting in the midst of it with his own BKB, but How just bulldozes his way right past all of them. Looks like he did get glimpsed back there, unable to fully finish the job, scattering and retreating. They have a charge out, but it's all the way from the fountain onto the Disruptor.
It's actually a really good fight for them, all things considered. They also got a really good Static Storm, but it's going to be Roshan is finally up and high ground. Looking wrecked.
I mean, you look at that positioning, and like with the on the steps, we've seen that time and time again. That choke point is going to favor some good AoE disable, so the Static Storm was great. The wall was solid, but Terrorblade limping away is...
Are they actually going for this?
Do it.
YOLO.
YOLO?
Absolutely YOLO.
YOLO?
Oh,
No, not happening. It just goes the way of How, and now likely the Night Stalker goes the way of Newbie. Tries to retreat himself out, but they back him back in. They run him down with the Rocket Barrage. That's another kill. No buyback for 50.
All right, so the plan is the Terrorblade is going to sell all of his items. He's going to buy a Dagon 3. He's going to find an Invis Rune. He's going to put himself at low HP, and he's going to one-shot this Gyrocopter. Won't see it coming.
That sounds nice.
That's a very elaborate plan, please.
Just got to do what you got to do.
Gyro almost has a butterfly. It's not great.
He's pretty unkillable.
Yeah. So what, Dagons? Dagons are...
Dagon is the answer. It's always been the answer.
Yeah,
They
except for
just
the-
had to see it.
Except for the Aegis of the BKB, guys.
No. It's a surprise, Dagon.
Yeah.
You come from Invis. You always get the lucky Invis rune. That's how you do it. You know what they call it, Dagon, right?
No.
One shot and they gone.
You are the master of dad jokes.
I gotta be.
Did that only start since baby plays? Or
Exactly. Oh, I can.
Or you're just born that way?
Yeah. I guess I was born for it because it's been my lifestyle.
Oh, there's going to be a little bit of an engagement. No paralyzing calls coming out, of course, with the invis. Makes it a bit rough. They're just looking to back on out on Newbie, but I think they can fight. There's going to be the wall vacuum on 3. On the backlines, the Terrorblade's trying to do something, but the Crimson Guard making him hit like a kitten. And now we are going to be seeing Razor walking the Viper, getting some damage stolen up. They've killed off the Spirit Breaker, but Night Stalker down elsewhere. And finally, Hao is here, ready to fight. Call down on 1, swap stopping the TP. Gonna burn through Witch Doctor. The Terrorblade still trying to get away. Manages to make it out, but oh, costly fight again for iG.V.
I just feel like the Terrorblade isn't doing enough in the fights. This Terrorblade is bringing terrible aid.
Come on.
How long did you take for that one?
5 seconds.
Oh gosh,
It comes
it
naturally.
really is. It really is. It's actually, this game actually has been more kill involved than I think a lot of the other games we've had, but it's just another one of those, they're sitting back and farming. These engagements are going really poorly for iG.V. I mean, yeah. Okay, so what's the lore behind when Terrorblade walks? Why does he drop all this crap on the ground?
Because he's fucking Illidan, and Illidan is awesome, and that's what he does.
He's evil.
It's just like a demon thing.
Evil people
You
have
wouldn't
fire
understand.
coming out of their ass. That's probably why Swindlemelons is confirmed for the devil after that American game yesterday.
Fair enough.
Here we go. Newbie up onto the high ground, looking to close
That's
out
when we go.
iG.V.
Watch
2-0.
out, guys. Night Stalker has Agative Scepter. He sees you. He sees you
Look
beating
at these,
down
look
your
at
racks.
these paralyzing course bounces.
Malediction. Doing work. Ticking hard.
Oh yeah.
No, the Wildkin's the one doing the real work here, man.
No, the Wildkin is being
He's
a
doing
right
the
pain.
Kumbaya dance right now.
That, you think that looks like Kumbaya?
You actually can't glimpse creeps, so it's just insurmountable.
He's invincible.
So we're gonna see more paralyzing calls going around, but only 3 bounces. Can they do anything about Hao? And this is his first life, folks. Not gonna be too much. They
But
put
it's
him-
iG.V's last life as the melee will fall. Newbie closing in, trying desperately to become relevant again. Chuan trying to get back to glory. His former teammates, they already fell short.
I mean, he's already won, right? Because his team got knocked out.
You can't win a TI and then be like, oh, well, they got knocked out before me in the qualifiers, so I feel good about that. Like, Chuan won't be happy until he wins a
They haven't won.
Valve
They
event.
won a TI ages ago, though, right? It's not like
See,
Once,
TI.
once you have tasted the sweet, sweet nectar, nothing else will do.
He has an Aegis in the corner, and that's
Is that how
immortal.
you describe your drinking problem? You justify. Well, yeah, I actually do wonder that about teams, whether it's so, obviously Na'Vi placing second a lot, and then for TI2 and TI3, I wonder how much that affects your mentality if we want this again, and just being so hard to get.
If you're the first person to take an Aegis twice to win TI, not 2 times in a row, but just 2 times ever, then you're immortal. Like this is definitely the time for glory for a lot of these players, and to even for Alliance who are back in their own like resurgence. I feel like they have as much drive as anybody just because of how much pride that would give them as a team.
Yeah. Probably
Why-
going to be a while before we get double winners, though.
How did you get on the subject of Na'Vi again?
No, I was just saying because they won TI1, right? Unless I'm...
Oh, okay. Yeah, some of us are trying to live in 2016. You might want to join us.
I'm just trying to pretend I know Dota history. No, okay, so we're going to be seeing the push come out for the top. Come on, big kinetic field static storm. I believe in you, Disruptor.
I think you're the only one. I believe in
Oh,
Newbie.
Chat, give
look
him
at all
energy.
Look at all these creeps.
Boboka!
What?
I
Look at
believe
all
in
these
Hao.
creeps.
I believe it's Satanic BKB Butterfly.
Dead man walking.
No, he's taking no damage from that tower. It's the paralyzing cost is hitting, not nearly enough. Okay.
There's
No-
the
no
midget
hype.
glimpse onto Moo. He doesn't really care. In comes the TB illusion, also quite irrelevant. They will continue their siege, I imagine, in just a few moments. Maybe waiting out the metamorph first.
Is Doxy just? Yeah, he was. Okay. Just wanted that extra vision.
King of the Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Kings of China. Newbie looking to take this 2-0. Take.
Kings of China?
Right?
Yep, that's
They're not
that's
even
what Blaze
first place
said.
in the qualifier, let alone directly invited. How are they kings of anything?
Blaze has odd.
There's multiple
hierarchy.
kingdoms, okay?
You guys are tripping. You're talking
Yeah.
about Na'Vi being relevant. You're saying Newbie's the kings of China.
Okay, okay.
They haven't even won the game yet. Here we go. They might lose Chuan off the
Oh,
bat. The
no.
turnaround, though, Tule with the God vacuum ball follow-up. Then the call down. The flak coming through. Rushing in to clean them all up is how. Beyond godlike. Somebody kill him. Nobody can. And with that, ig.Vitality are entirely out of Vitality. That's about to be 5 dead. And that is the GG. It was a great run, but it is Newbie who take them down 2-0. And we'll get a shot at becoming relevant again.
Newbie taking it, moving forward. Second only to LGD. Kings of China.
Kings of China.
See, the thing is that there's multiple kingdoms.
There
You
used to
can
be.
be a king of a lesser kingdom and still be able to call yourself a
It's-
king.
It's been a long time since China had a multiple kingdom situation. I
It's the
think like,
dynasty.
the 3 kingdoms were way back in there, Blaze. So if I'm not living in 2016, you're stuck in like the 400 AD. It's not great.
Navi was back then too.
So it's 2 people are hallucinating, the confirmed alcoholic, and then Newbie. Congratulations to them anyway. On a more relevant note, they have qualified. We're going to come back to the couch. I don't really know why. Nothing to see here, folks.
The insanity cast is real. That's pretty much proven by the end
Woo!
of this one.
That does conclude China. And with the end of China, SEA has also wrapped up. I guess we won't spoil the results for those who didn't actually get to catch it. But we now know the 2 teams who are advancing. In the end, I guess it's the big names. Though I actually thought one of these 2 upstart teams could make it over Newbie.
If in all reality, I really wanted ig.V to pull through. They have been looking really strong this past month. The fact that they got kind of dumpstered by DK and they got kicked off the team because
The
DK
Dumpster Kings.
because DK could no longer support them. I felt like they really needed a win, and they got a couple of good wins throughout their past few tournaments, but here against Newbie, they just can't do it. It's 2-0 for Newbie. How looking really comfortable with the current carries of the metagame, and just in general, Newbie knowing what they need to do to not only dismantle the aggression of ig.V, but to push forward for the win.
So yeah, we'll be short break, I believe. I'm not quite sure if Europe has started yet.
I
but
think
it should
it's
be soon.
staying on schedule, so we probably have a little while to wait.
Okay.
That's what Roland is for. Roland? I think Roland went.
Oh,